Good afternoon. Still reporting, of course, live from the SIHH 2018, and now it's time to dream, really dream. My eyes are, I can't tell you. I'm with Nicolas Bos, who is the CEO of Cleef Arpels. Nicolas, it's good to have you here.
Nice to see you, Alexander.
It's time to dream because this brand is really making us dream by manufacturing, by bringing timepieces to the market that are really exceptional. And this year you have been, the moon phase is something you have been playing around quite a while. And this year it's really, you have brought it to the top because you integrated a complete planetarium around, and it's crazy. The timepiece is simply crazy. I like it. When I saw it the first time, I thought, wow, that's cool. That's the whole world and the moon.
Exactly. Thank you. It's true that we don't even look at it as a moon phase in a way, but really as a planetarium, because the original inspiration for this pieces is not necessarily a tradition of watches. It's really the table planetarium from the 18th century. Quite large size objects that were scientific objects, but I think real works of art, where actually they were managing to recreate the rotation of the planets
and the position of the
exactly. Usually using movements and mechanisms that were very close to watch movements. But of course, the representation was very artistic, carved spheres of ornamental stones.
You can't realize it in a wristwatch anyway.
Exactly. So it was, but this is what we tried to do. And I think that there is, among the tradition of astronomic watches, there is a very scientific component, but there is also a very narrative and poetic approach. And especially when you think of the association of astronomy and astrology and the representation of planets and constellation over the years, this is a decorative and poetic approach that we, of course, like very much at Cleef Arpels. So we introduced a few years ago a men's version, which was a planetarium, under a bit the same idea of showing the revolution of the planets, but where the planets would not be merely indicated on the flat dial, they would be really spheres of stones, and we continue to work on that idea. And for that ladies version, which we wanted to do delicate in a reasonable size, of course we wanted to focus on planets that traditionally were more associated with feminine figures and feminine goddesses, and of course Venus and the Moon were to be included. So we came back to the drawing board in order to include not only the revolution of some planets around the Sun, but the revolution of the Moon around the Earth, featuring the Moon with a diamond that revolves around an Earth which is carved in turquoise.
This is why I said you built a whole planetarium around the moon phase. I know
we tried to.
Yeah, you did, and it's a fantastic way of doing it. The watch is composed about of how many components had to go into such a watch to make it be as not reliable, precise, because these little movement, these little steps of all the planets have to be very much synchronized and put together.
Yes, I don't want to say something. I don't know the number of components.
Yeah, but it must be amazing. Precisely calculated.
Very, very precise, because of course it has to be accurate. So the cycles are respected, and of course the revolution are accurate. And actually there is a whole calendar at the back that enables to set back the year, the month, and the date
to be sure that everything is.
To be sure that you have the exact alignment. Of the planet, and the position of the planets correspond to the exact date. Actually, for we like to on projects like these, we like to partner with experts. We don't do everything in-house. So when it comes to the design and the jewelry component, this is an expertise that we have. For the movement here, we worked with an independent workshop called Christian van der Klo, that who are specialists of astronomical watches.
Yes.
And so of course we wanted to serve our story or aesthetics, but we really relied upon them on the development of the movement itself, because this is their expertise, really to work on these rhythms and the accuracy of the revolutions.
Fantastic timepiece. I can't get enough of it. It's nice.
Thank you.
Really, yeah, it's fantastic. I saw some interesting things outside. You're very much also theming now on Floral. It's earth themes. I've seen a little bit of a trend of it. Earth is very important. Now, not only coming down to earth. This is probably not the case at Van Cleef because it's the world of dreams, but the floral themes, these reproducing floral themes. Tell me about this approach you're having here.
I think it's one of the very, very strong historical traditions for fine jewelry. Of course, fine jewelry aims at representing beauty.
Yeah.
Because in most cases, women love to adorn themselves with an expression of beauty. And for since the very early days of mankind, pretty much across civilization, representation of nature has been considered an expression of beauty. And of course, flowers play a very, very important part historically, and there is a real history of jewelry trying to reinterpret the shapes, the colors, the vibrancy, the movement of flowers. It's aesthetic and it's also a technical challenge because when you think of it, when you're working in jewelry, you're working with the hardest materials, gold, platinum, diamonds, requires a lot of strength, and to be able with these materials and these processes to recreate the fragility and the colors, of a flower, very evanescent, is quite, a challenge and something that jewelers are looking for. So there is a whole history at Van Cleef & Arpels of the representation of nature and mostly a very beautiful, whimsical, positive side of nature. So flowers, butterflies, but a lot of flowers indeed. And we wanted this year to offer during the fair kind of jeweled gardens, of quite a series of high jewelry watches, but they're really high jewelry bracelets, all unique pieces, figurative pieces representing different types of flowers, from the daisy to the myosotis.
I just saw them, and you probably smell those flowers.
Thank you. Yes, we always try to.
Yeah, they are pretty much authentic. So you get the smell, the smell in your nose when you walk around and see them. And I imagine this is really hard stuff to do it, and this is what Van Cleef & Arpels stands for. It's making these unbelievable, difficult jewelry pieces. It needs these talented ladies, I think, mostly.
Actually, it's more and more ladies. It's originally a men's world.
Yeah, but it's getting more. When I look in the ateliers, it's
more ladies. But remembering that the physical strength it required, that's required to bend the metal and set the stones is actually very, very high. So actually we have stronger and stronger ladies now in the workshop. But yes, it's a mix of both. But yes, it's really an expertise which is a true traditional high jewelry expertise, especially when it comes to working the volume, because I think that what really makes the identity or the specificity of that level of high jewelry is the treatment of the three-dimensionality and the fact that you work really in all dimension. You when you work a petal, it's never a flat surface. It's never a simple shape. It's very, very delicate. It's completely organic. And this is a technical challenge, but I think this is what makes the beauty of it.
And it's worth having a close look. I think so.
Yes, indeed. Thank you.
The automaton from last year. You're beautiful.
Yes. The Féondi. I remember it. We spent 8 years working on it, so I'm not going to forget it.
Is it evolving? Is it? I heard that you have been doing some. You've been working on the waves, on the way the whole thing. How you say the movement of the leaves on the water. You have been some little details refining the timepiece. So you were still working on it. It's a working.
It's not a work in progress anymore. I think that it was when we showed it in. It still needed some fine tuning. And we worked with the team, with the jewelers, and with the automaton maker.
I just heard from your teams that you were fine-tuning.
So now, as far as I know, now it's fine-tuned. Okay. It's done, but we are embarking on new projects. I mean, these are very long and long-term projects. Very, very exciting to work at that scale, and it's a fascinating world.
How many of them you have sold?
There was one. and there is one.
And there's no second one built yet?
No, we started the project. This one took more than 8 years. I hope that the next one will come before that. But no,
it's really so amazing.
Very
Even
long.
if one is done, you can't.
No, because there is. It's typically a type of piece where there is no economies of scale, or there is nothing that you can repeat.
Of course, I know, but I thought you would have done a second one.
No, we relaunched that one. Finished it. So now we launched. Different directions, and so there will be more to come in the future. I cannot tell really when.
Okay.
And they will be different because that was a unique story we wanted to tell. And
so you're really only making this one, and it will be only a one of a kind.
Yes, this one is completely.
Okay, then I thought you. I thought you're doing at least some, maybe 3, 4. I don't know.
No. We'll do other stories, other automatons with completely different aesthetics, but that ferry is unique.
But the theme will stay important at Cleef Arpels.
Yes, but it's
the butterfly,
the butterfly, the ferry, the leaf that moves, very slowly. This representation of nature and flowers we are talking about. Something that has been with the
so
arts
moving
for
scenes either in wristwatches or an automaton, as we saw last year. Exactly. The table automaton will be.
And the great thing, one of the great things of the automaton, it was also a way for us to think differently in terms of animation and actually develop some concepts that can then feed some watch development at a smaller scale.
Great. Last question. Do you see any global trends in jewelry? Meaning colors, beside of what you're doing? You're having a view on it. You are looking from the summit down. Do you see any global trends in colors? Is there anything out that you see that is really focused on these days? I'm just interested to hear your opinion.
Not really. I think that we are the days of major trends like white gold and then yellow gold, or color stones and then diamonds seem to be gone for already some time, and it's really a diversity of offers. So we've seen more and more ornamental stones coming back. At Cleef Arpels we've worked with them for forever, but we've seen them come back on the market with various players in the last few years, and we see more diversity of colors. People mixing and matching, even wearing white gold with yellow gold. So it's really I think the integrity and the quality of the design that prevails, not the fact that it's part of one specific trend. And I think that what we see is customers and people, when they look at established houses or brands for jewelry, looking for iconic creation and they wear creation also, but it has been a trend for a very long time. But there's definitely an interest in a very identified design, recognizable they wear pieces besides the high jewelry and the exceptional pieces. And we see that as quite an important phenomenon, but something that we see also in the world of watches for some time.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Interesting, and for the short resume also concerning these trends, it's good to ask an expert.
Thank you.
I am more the expert on watches, you are more the expert in jewelry, or both maybe, but I am in jewelry. I just
in watches.
I like jewelry because it makes me smile when it's done in the way you do it. It's simply stunning. It's very expensive, of course, but it's a world of dreams, and I love it.
It
has to be there. It has to be there. It's kind of part of the industry. And if you see all the women running around your booth, there's a smile in their face.
That's a blessing for us. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And don't forget also to sign up to our YouTube channel and stay tuned. There's much more to come here from WatchAdvisor.com. Thank you very much.
Thank you.